The neutral space station HFY-9 was always busy, but today it felt different, almost too quiet. Thousands of aliens moved through the huge metal halls, but every one of them kept glancing toward the center passage, the one path forbidden for normal travelers. Guards stood there wearing silver armor, holding long energy spears. Their helmets shined like mirrors, and no one dared go near them. Everyone knew the reason. The alien princess was arriving. Her name was Princess Serenia of the Zalari Empire, the most feared and respected royal of the galaxy. Some said she could sense lies, some said she could crush a ship with her mind, and some even whispered that she was part goddess. Whatever the truth, one thing was clear: if she entered a place, that place bowed to her. And today, she was stepping foot on HFY-9. Elias Ward, a simple human engineer, had no idea she was coming. He had been sent to repair a communication panel in the main hall. He wore a plain gray jumpsuit and carried a tool case in one hand. To him, it was just another job. But fate had different plans. As he tightened a loose wire near the ceiling panel, he heard the sound of boots marching in perfect rhythm. The whole hall went silent. Even the humming vents seemed to stop. Elias climbed down from the ladder slowly. "What's happening?" he whispered. A four-armed alien grabbed him by the shoulder. "Human, step aside. The princess is coming." But before Elias could move, the guards filled the hall. Their spears glowed blue, their armor pulsing with symbols of the royal family. They formed a perfect square around the entrance. And then, a soft golden light spilled into the hall. Princess Serenia walked forward. Her height was tall and graceful, her silver-white hair flowing like liquid starlight behind her. Her skin glowed faintly with an alien energy, and her eyes, deep violet, held the kind of power that made even war generals look away. Everyone in the hall bowed instantly. Everyone except Elias, who stood frozen with his tool case still in his hand. He had never seen anything like her before. His heart thumped in his chest, and he felt suddenly aware of how ordinary he was. No armor, no rank, no special abilities, just a human engineer with grease on his gloves. One of the guards shouted, "Human, bow." But before Elias could react, Serenia lifted her hand. "Stop," she said softly. Her voice was calm, but it carried across the entire hall like a command from the stars themselves. Every guard froze in place, confused and nervous. Serenia's eyes were fixed on Elias. She tilted her head slightly, studying him with deep curiosity. The hall trembled with silence. Aliens held their breath. No one understood why the princess had stopped. She walked toward him slowly. Her royal cape brushed the floor like drifting smoke. The guards didn't dare breathe. Elias felt panic rising in his chest. Should he bow? Should he speak? Should he run? He didn't know the rules of alien royalty. He didn't even know what he had done wrong. When Serenia reached him, she stood only a few steps away. Elias could feel the light warmth of her energy, almost like sunlight on his skin. She spoke in a quiet voice, "Human, why do you not bow?" Elias swallowed. I didn't know you were here. I'm sorry. I'm just working." Her eyes softened, just a little. "Working? Even in my presence?" "I didn't want to get in the way," he said honestly. Serenia blinked, surprised. "You speak with no fear." "It's not that I'm brave," Elias replied, "I just don't lie." Something changed in her expression. The hall watched in disbelief as a royal princess stepped closer to a human, closer than she had ever stepped to any outsider. She whispered, "Strange, your aura, it is different." Elias had no idea what she meant, but he stood there quietly, trying not to make a mistake. One of the guards finally spoke, "Princess, this human may be a threat. Allow us to move him." Serenia's voice turned sharp. "Touch him, and I will end your rank." Her guards froze instantly. The hall exploded with shock. Even the station commander began sweating. Why was she protecting a human? Serenia kept her eyes on Elias. What is your name? Elias Ward, he said softly. The way she repeated it under her breath made every alien panic. Elias, she whispered like the name was important. For a moment, she simply stared at him. It wasn't anger. It wasn't disgust. It was something new, curiosity, maybe interest, maybe something deeper that she didn't understand. Then she asked something no one expected. Human Elias, why does your presence calm me? Elias blinked. Calm you? I don't know, princess. I'm just doing my job. Serenia took one more slow step toward him. Now she was close enough that Elias could see a faint shimmer in her eyes, like small galaxies spinning inside. You are ordinary, she whispered, yet you make my heart feel warm. The hall gasped. A princess of the Zalari Empire had never spoken such words, not to her own people, and certainly not to a human. A council officer rushed forward, panicked. Princess, humans are considered unstable. You should not. Serenia raised her hand again. Silence. Her voice vibrated with power. She turned back to Elias with a strange, almost shy expression. You will come with me, she said. Come, with you. Elias stuttered. Yes, she said firmly. I wish to understand you. And just like that, before anybody could stop her, she placed her hand gently on his wrist. Every alien in the hall nearly fainted. A royal princess touched a human. Guards panicked. Commanders shook. Reports began flying across the galaxy. Elias stood there, confused but unable to look away from her glowing eyes. In that moment, the galaxy changed. And neither of them knew it yet. But this was only the beginning. The guards escorted Princess Serenia and Elias through a private corridor inside HFY 9. The hall outside remained frozen in shock. Aliens whispered, stunned and terrified, as the impossible truth spread from mouth to mouth. The princess touched a human. And she protected him. Inside the private royal chamber, silence filled the air. Soft purple lights glowed from crystal panels. The room smelled of sweet alien flowers, and at the center stood a floating circular couch made of soft light. Elias stood still near the door, unsure if he should sit, speak, or even breathe. Serenia turned to him slowly. Relax, Elias. You are safe here. Her voice sounded softer now, without the heavy power she showed in public. Elias felt confused. Why would a royal princess act gentle with him? He pointed awkwardly at a glowing chair. Should I sit? Yes, she said, almost amused, you should. Elias sat down carefully. Serenia sat across from him, her violet eyes bright and focused. Her hair floated slightly, as if reacting to her emotions. She kept studying him like he was a rare discovery. Tell me, she said, what does a human engineer do on a station like this? I fix things, Elias answered. Panels, wires, damaged circuits, simple stuff. Simple, Serenia repeated. Yet your presence shakes my heart. Elias blinked. Excuse me. She looked down for a moment, confused by her own feelings. When I saw you, something inside me reacted. I do not understand it. Elias scratched the back of his head nervously. Maybe I scared you. Her eyes snapped back up. No. Humans do not scare me. Nothing scares me. That is, true, Elias said softly. But you, she whispered, you made my heart feel warm. Elias felt his ears heat up. Princess, I'm not special. I think you're giving me too much importance. Serenia leaned forward slightly. Humans lie. They hide feelings. They pretend. But you, Elias Ward, you spoke with honesty. You did not bow because you did not know the rules. You did not lie to please me. That is rare. Elias didn't know what to say. He wasn't used to compliments, especially from someone like her. Before he could respond, a holographic screen flashed on the wall. Incoming transmission, Galactic Council emergency message. Serenia frowned. They must have seen the recording. She touched the screen. A tall alien council member appeared. His skin was blue and his eyes were filled with fear. Princess Serenia, he said, voice shaking, the entire galaxy saw what you did. This connection with a human, it is forbidden. Serenia didn't flinch. I choose what is allowed for me. Princess, the councilman whispered urgently, humans are unpredictable. They are emotional. They make dangerous choices. You must distance yourself. Serenia's voice turned cold. If you speak another word against humans, I will silence you myself. The councilman trembled and ended the call immediately. Elias stared at her, stunned. You didn't have to defend me. I did, she replied. Because I want to understand why I felt drawn to you. Elias lowered his eyes. Princess. I'm not someone who fits in your world. She stood up and walked toward him slowly. Each step felt heavy with meaning. She stopped right in front of him. Elias looked up, caught in her glowing gaze. You think you are ordinary, she said. But power does not impress me. Titles do not interest me. True courage, honesty, those things matter. Elias swallowed. I don't know if I'm brave. Her voice softened. You shielded me from the explosion outside. You moved before thinking. No alien has ever done that for me. Elias looked away shyly. Anyone would do that. No, she whispered. Not anyone. The room grew still. Elias felt the tension inside his chest. He couldn't understand what was happening, and yet he couldn't deny the strange pull between them. Suddenly alarms blared in the station. Warning, hostile ships approaching Helion 9. Unknown faction detected. Serenia's expression changed instantly. She contacted her guards. Report. A guard's panicked voice replied, Princess. A rebel faction has arrived. They demand we hand over the human. Elias froze. They're after me. Why? Because of me, Serenia said. My reaction to you has created panic. They think you are controlling me. What? That's impossible. I know, she said firmly, but they do not. The guard shouted again, Princess, they have breached Section 7. We cannot hold them. Serenia turned to Elias with a determined glare. Stay behind me. Elias shook his head. No. I'm not hiding while they come for me. Serenia's lips parted slightly. She didn't expect that answer. You would fight? She asked. I will not let you face danger alone, Elias replied quietly. I may not be strong, but I can help. Her eyes softened again. You amaze me, human. The doors suddenly shook from explosions outside. Elias grabbed a tool from his case, an electric stabilizer. Serenia extended her glowing hand, energy swirling around her fingers. She stood at his side. He stood at hers. Ready? She asked. Yes, Elias said, trying to calm his racing heartbeat. The doors exploded open. Smoke filled the room. Armored rebels charged inside. And side by side, the alien princess and the simple human prepared to fight for each other. And this battle, would change the galaxy forever. The doors of the royal chamber burst open with a violent blast. Metal fragments scattered across the floor. Smoke rolled inside the room like a dark fog. Elias stumbled back slightly, coughing, while Princess Serenia stepped forward with calm, sharp focus in her eyes. Through the smoke, shadowy figures appeared. Armored rebels wearing cracked helmets and carrying illegal plasma rifles. Their leader stepped forward. His armor was black, glowing with red lines, and his voice boomed through a distorted mask. Hand over the human. The princess is compromised. Serenia straightened her posture, her aura flaring like blue fire. Speak with respect, she commanded, her voice cold. Or kneel. The rebels did not kneel. They raised their weapons. Elias felt his heart jump into his throat. This was real danger. Real death. But even as fear crawled across his skin, he stepped beside Serenia. The rebel leader growled. Princess, you choose a human over your own people. Serenia's voice was calm but deadly. Yes. The rebels opened fire. Energy blasts filled the room, but Serenia reacted faster than lightning. A shimmering shield of violet energy erupted around her and Elias. The shots hit the shield and exploded into sparks. Elias watched in awe. You're blocking all of them. Serenia didn't look away from the attackers. I will protect you, Elias. Stay behind me. But Elias shook his head. I can help. Before she could stop him, he ran to a side panel and opened it with his stabilizer tool. Wires and power cells spilled out. Elias rewired them with rapid, skilled movements. The station lights flickered, then surged. A hidden ceiling turret activated overhead. It fired a stun blast, knocking 2 rebels to the ground instantly. Serenia turned her head slightly. You activated the defense grid? Yes, Elias said, breathless. I rerouted power manually. You continue to surprise me, Serenia whispered. The rebel leader roared. Enough. Take them both. 5 rebels charged forward. Serenia raised her hand, and her aura surrounded them like a swirling storm. She moved with elegant precision, faster than any human could see. A wave of violet light threw 3 rebels backward, slamming them against the wall. But 2 rebels got past her sweep and headed straight for Elias. Serenia's heart dropped. Elias. Elias ducked behind a pillar as a plasma bolt hit the wall beside him. He grabbed a loose metal rod from the floor and swung it like a bat, knocking a rebel's weapon away. Serenia moved instantly. She teleported, her body turning into a streak of blue light, and appeared between Elias and the second rebel. She struck the rebel's chest with an open palm, sending him crashing into the far wall. The chamber shook as the battle continued. Elias caught his breath. Princess, there are too many. Serenia lifted her hand. The air turned heavy as her power grew stronger. Let them come. More rebels rushed inside, their boots pounding on the metal floor. Elias quickly reconnected a circuit in the side panel. Electricity crackled under his fingers. He shouted, Princess. Step left. She trusted him without question and shifted slightly. Elias hit a switch. A surge of energy burst from the floor plates, electrocuting the rebels and knocking all of them unconscious. Smoke filled the room again. Silence followed. Serenia looked around, amazed. You used my energy field to amplify the shock. Elias nodded shyly. I guessed it might work. Serenia stared at him, truly impressed. Humans call themselves simple. Yet you fight with intelligence no alien has shown me. Elias rubbed the back of his neck. Honestly. I'm scared out of my mind right now. Serenia stepped closer. Courage is not the absence of fear, Elias. It is acting despite it. He looked into her glowing violet eyes. Are you, okay? She paused, surprised by his concern. I am. Because you are. Before she could say more, the station broadcast activated overhead. Emergency. Rebel ships breaking through level 3 shields. Evacuate the station immediately. Serena's expression hardened. They will destroy this place to get to you. To me? Elias whispered. Why me? Because they fear what you mean to me, she said. And that fear can turn into war. Elias stepped closer. Princess, why do I matter so much? Serena opened her mouth to answer. But the chamber doors shook again. Boom. 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 Another explosion tore through the hallway outside. Serena grabbed Elias's hand with surprising gentleness. We must leave now. But where will we go? To my ship, she said. It is safe. And no rebel can breach its shields. Elias nodded, trusting her completely. They ran through the smoking halls of HFY. Sparks shot from broken pipes. Aliens screamed and ran for cover. Rebel drones chased them, firing blue beams down the hall. Serena raised her arm, creating a protective bubble around them as they ran. Elias used his tool to disable energy doors, reroute systems, and open sealed passages. Together, they moved like a team. A princess of immense power and a human with brilliant instincts. As they reached the docking bay, Serena's royal cruiser activated automatically, its engines glowing bright silver. Elias stared in awe. Your ship, it's beautiful. And it is ours now, Serena said. Ours? She squeezed his hand tighter. Yes. I will not leave you behind. Drones flew toward them, preparing to fire. But Serena pulled Elias inside the ship and commanded. Launch! The cruiser shot into space, leaving the burning station behind. Elias collapsed into a seat, breathless. Did we just escape a rebel army? Yes, Serena said softly, sitting across from him. Because they wanted to take you from me. Elias looked confused, nervous, and curious all at once. Princess, why? Why do I matter? Serena took a deep breath. Her next words would change his life forever. Because Elias, you are not just a human to me. You are something more. The royal cruiser moved silently through deep space, leaving the burning station far behind. Elias sat by the window, watching shattered metal pieces float away like dying stars. His hands were still shaking. He had never seen violence that close. He had never felt danger breathing on his neck. Princess Serena sat across the room, her eyes glowing softly as she watched him, not with fear, not with suspicion, but with worry. Real worry. Elias, she said gently, are you hurt? He shook his head. Just, overwhelmed. Serena stood and walked toward him, her silver-white hair moving like slow waves. She sat beside him, closer than before. You faced death. You fought despite fear. You protected me again. You amaze me every moment. Elias laughed softly. Princess, I didn't really do anything amazing. She tilted her head. You rewired a military-grade panel during battle. That was luck. No, she said. That was courage. Elias looked down, unsure. No one had ever spoken to him with such respect. Then Serena placed her hand lightly over his. His breath caught. Elias, she whispered, you asked me earlier why you matter to me. Yes, he said quietly. I still don't understand. Serena looked into his eyes, deep, serious, emotional. Because when I saw you, my heart recognized something I have never known. It felt warm, light, alive. Elias swallowed. Princess. I don't know why. Before he could finish, the ship AI interrupted. Incoming transmission from the Zalari Royal Council. Serena's expression turned cold. Reject. But the AI replied. High priority override activated. The screen lit up with the image of the Emperor himself, Serena's father. His face was stern, powerful, determined. Serenia, he said, voice heavy with authority, is it true? Did you protect a human with your life? Serenia stepped forward proudly. I did. You disobeyed tradition, the emperor said. You placed a human above your own empire. Elias stood up quickly. Sir, your majesty, I didn't ask her to. Enough, the emperor snapped. Human, do not speak unless spoken to. Serenia's energy flared with anger. Father, do not speak to him like that. The emperor narrowed his eyes. He has changed you, daughter. I can feel it. Your aura is different. You are losing control. I have never been more in control, Serenia said. Return home at once, the emperor ordered. You will surrender the human for questioning. Serenia's voice dropped to a cold whisper. If you try to take him, you will lose me forever. The emperor's face twisted in shock. But before he could reply, Serenia cut the transmission. The room fell silent. Elias stood frozen. Princess, you just threatened your own father. He threatened you, she said. And he will not touch you. Elias felt something shift inside him. This wasn't just attraction. This wasn't just kindness. This was something deeper. Something both beautiful and terrifying. He stepped closer. Serenia, why would you risk everything for me? She looked up at him, her eyes soft and glowing. Because you made me feel something real. Elias's heart pounded. Serenia took a slow breath. You made me feel loved. The words hit him like a shockwave. He whispered, loved. She nodded. I felt your heart before I understood your name. Elias felt warmth spread through his chest. He looked at her, really looked at her, and realized something. He didn't want to lose her. He didn't want her to fight alone. He didn't want this connection to disappear. His hands trembled. His lips went dry. He took a single step forward. And in a soft, nervous, honest voice, he whispered the words that would shake the entire galaxy. Can I marry you? Serenia froze. Her eyes widened. Her breath caught. She did not expect this. Not from him. Not this soon. Not in this moment. A princess who had faced wars. A warrior who had fought armies. Stood speechless because of one simple human question. Elias panicked. I'm sorry, forget I said anything, I didn't mean to pressure you. Serenia suddenly grabbed his hands, both of them, with surprising intensity. Her voice trembled. Say it again. Elias blinked. Huh? Say it again, she whispered. Let me hear it properly. He swallowed hard. Can I marry you? Silence. The air felt heavy and bright at the same time. Serenia's lips parted. Her eyes softened. A tear, not of sadness, but overwhelming emotion, slipped down her cheek. And then she whispered. Softly at first. Yes. Then stronger. Yes. Then with her whole heart. Yes. The ship lights brightened automatically, reacting to her emotional surge. The AI spoke calmly. Galactic shockwave detected from royal emotional surge. Elias didn't even understand what that meant. He was too busy trying not to faint. Serenia pulled him gently into her arms. Her voice shook as she whispered in his ear. Elias Ward. I accept you. Fully. Completely. My heart is yours. Elias felt his world melt. But outside the ship, something enormous was happening. Across the galaxy. Royal sensors activated. Diplomats screamed. Rebel factions panicked. News channels exploded. The alien princess said yes to a human. First human-alien royal proposal confirmed. Empire in crisis. Galactic politics destroyed in one moment. Inside the ship, Serenia held Elias close and whispered. From now on, your destiny and mine are the same. But they had no idea. This love would awaken enemies more dangerous than any rebel. Enemies who would never accept a human as the princess's mate. And the real war had just begun. The royal cruiser drifted through a quiet starfield, its silver wings glowing softly. Inside, Elias and Princess Serenia stood together near the main deck window, their hands still linked. Outside, the two suns of the Zalari border flickered like burning jewels. Elias felt strangely calm now. He had survived an attack, escaped a rebel fleet, and proposed to an alien princess. His life had changed faster than a heartbeat. Yet somehow, standing next to her, he felt safe. Serenia turned her head slightly, watching him with a small smile. Elias, are you afraid of what comes next? He exhaled softly. Yes, but not because of you. Then what scares you? She asked. Elias looked out at the void. Your empire. Your father. The council. The rebels. Everyone who thinks I don't belong with you. Serenia squeezed his hand. Their opinions do not matter. Only mine. And I have chosen you. Elias lowered his eyes shyly. I just don't want you to lose everything because of me. Serenia stepped closer, placing her hand on his cheek. Elias, you did not take anything from me. You gave me something no one ever has. What's that? He whispered. A real heart. Elias didn't know what to say. Her words hit him deep. But before he could speak, alarms began to beep. Warning, multiple royal-class ships approaching. Elias tensed. Rebels again? No, Serenia said. These signatures belong to my father. The Emperor's fleet arrived. Massive golden warships surrounded the small cruiser. Their size dwarfed the stars themselves. Laser grids shimmered as thousands of weapons locked onto Serenia's ship. Elias swallowed hard. They're going to destroy us. No, Serenia said calmly. They want answers first. The Emperor's voice echoed through the ship's speakers. Serenia. Step out of the vessel. The human will be taken for evaluation. Elias felt cold fear crawl into his chest. Serenia's eyes sharpened like blades. Over my dead body. The Emperor's tone hardened. Daughter, your feelings have blinded you. Humans are unstable. Their presence threatens the Empire. Serenia stepped toward the communication panel. Father, you think humans are dangerous. Yet this one, she gestured toward Elias. Showed courage that your generals have never shown. Elias blinked in surprise. He protected me, she continued. He fought beside me. He saved my life. The Emperor remained silent for a long moment. Then he said simply. I must see the human myself. Serenia inhaled slowly. Very well. She looked at Elias and took both his hands gently. Do not fear. I am with you. Elias nodded, though his chest tightened with nerves. The cruiser landed inside the Emperor's flagship docking bay. Hundreds of armored guards lined up in rows. The Emperor of the Zalari Empire stood at the center, tall and fearsome, wearing a golden crown shaped like sunfire. Elias felt like a small grain of sand standing before a mountain. Serenia stepped out proudly, pulling Elias with her. Whispers filled the hall. She brought the human. Impossible. He must be some kind of weapon. The Emperor studied Elias with sharp, ancient eyes. What is your full name, human? Elias straightened himself. Elias Ward, sir. Do you love my daughter? The Emperor asked bluntly. Elias froze. He didn't expect such a direct question. Serenia turned to him, eyes wide. Elias felt his heart racing. He thought of the moments they shared, the danger, the fear, the honesty, the warmth. He thought of how she defended him, how she looked at him, how she accepted his proposal without hesitation. "Yes," Elias said quietly. "I do." The hall fell dead silent. Even Serena inhaled sharply, moved by his courage. The Emperor frowned. "You understand that loving a Zalari princess means facing death, war, and the anger of the galaxy?" Elias nodded. "I understand." "You are weak," the Emperor said. "You have no powers, no alien strength, no rank." Elias looked down for a moment, then lifted his head. "That might be true," he said. "But I have something else." "And what is that?" the Emperor demanded. "Heart," Elias said. "And loyalty. I will protect her with everything I have. Even if I die." A ripple of shock spread through the hall. Serena's eyes glistened. The Emperor stared at Elias for a long, heavy moment. Then he said, "Kneel." Elias obeyed and knelt. Serena looked worried. "Father." "Silence," the Emperor said. He walked toward Elias with slow, powerful steps. He stopped just inches away. For several seconds, he said nothing. Then he placed a glowing hand on Elias's shoulder. And spoke words no one in the galaxy expected. "If my daughter accepts you, then so do I." Serena gasped softly. Elias looked up in disbelief. The Emperor continued, "Your courage is rare. Your honesty is real. And you risked death to protect her. These qualities define a warrior more than power ever could." The hall erupted in whispers. Serena moved forward and hugged her father tightly, a gesture she rarely gave. "Thank you," she whispered. The Emperor smiled faintly. "My daughter's happiness matters more to me than tradition." Serena turned and pulled Elias into an embrace. She rested her forehead against his. "It is done," she whispered. "We are accepted." Elias exhaled, finally feeling the weight lift off his chest. We can be together." "Yes," she said softly. "The galaxy will adjust." The Emperor raised his hand. "Let it be known across all worlds, Princess Serena has chosen her mate, Elias Ward of Earth." Royal trumpets echoed. Digital banners lit up the hall. And a historic message spread across every star system. The first human-alien royal union begins today. Elias felt Serena squeeze his hand. "This is our new beginning." He smiled. "It's going to be a crazy life, isn't it?" Serena laughed softly. "With you, human, I expect nothing less." They stood together as the galaxy buzzed with shock, excitement, fear, and hope. But one thing was certain. Their bond had changed the future for every species. And far away, hidden in the shadows of deep space, an unknown enemy watched their union on a hologram screen. A cold voice whispered. "So the princess chose a human. Then the galaxy will burn." The next chapter of their destiny had already begun.